Hi, my name is Michael Novello from visualpixels.com, and here I show you fast and effective Photoshop tutorials to create amazing results. Hi, in this tutorial I want to show you how you can create this holographic effect here, like you've seen it in Star Wars movies or other sci-fi movies. We have this glowing effect with scan lines and a little bit blurriness, and it's a little bit faded out and you can see through the person. And this is really easy to do. I have here my model. It's I provide you the link to the image in the description, and I have masked out the model like that with Topaz Remask, and it is a fantastic tool because, as you can see, the cut is really good. And I recommend you use a tool like Topaz Remask. It's really handy and you save a lot of time, because in this case the background and the model, this white gray-ish dress, and the background is gray, so it's very difficult to do this by hand. And I've masked the model out here, and then I have downloaded another image here. It's just a background. Sure, you can do this in Blender or whatever software you have, 3D software, and I provide you a link for that image in the description as well. And we worked with this image here. At first I'm going to set this to a smart object. I convert this to a smart object because I always want to have the possibility to go back and maybe make some changes or something like that. That's, for me, it's very important when I'm doing photo retouching or photo manipulation, so that I can always go back and turn a little bit some values up or down, and that's for me, it's good practice. It's always a good practice to convert something in a smart object, and if you can't do that, make always a backup and then work on the image, so you never lose the original. Okay, what we're gonna do is I'm going to have converted this to a smart object, and now I'm going to blur this image here a little bit. Going to blur, Gaussian blur, and I blur this with about 6 pixels or so, so that it is blurry in the background, like that, and press OK. Then I'm going to add a curve adjustment layer, and I'm going to this little icon here, this drag tool here, and I'm going to the place where I want it to have really white, and I click in there and I drag up or down, and so you can create a really white image like that. That's looking really good. Maybe I can now manually turn this a little bit to here. Okay, oops, something like that, and create another point so that I have this straight line up and then to the right. And now I'm going to copy the mask layer here to this image, duplicate layer, and I'm going to the white cube room, and then I have the model here. And just by copying it, it's good perspective this here, but I want to have a little bit more of the model, and I'm going to scale it down. And if the model or another image which you have copied or duplicated is bigger than your actual image size, then you have the problem that you're not reaching the handles here, and you can click Ctrl and 0 on the numpad, and then Photoshop is going to zoom out, so you can grab the handles and move in like that. And then I'm going to move that to here. And if you see here some red parts, that's because my graphic card has a little error and I have to replace it. But for now it should be good. I hope Photoshop is not going down. Yeah, like I said, hopefully. Okay, after the crash of Photoshop, I'm back and I recreated the state where we were, and I've resized the model right now, and it's always a good idea to save. And I saved this under holographic effect, and it's okay. And now I can work. And now I'm going to duplicate this layer here 2 times, or better 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to hide this here, the background copy of our model. Then I'm going to rename that layer here to glow, that one to blur, and the top one to hologram. And I'm going to hide the blur and the hologram layer, and on the glow layer I'm going to set the fill to 0. And now I'm adding an effect, an outer glow. And here is another use of the fill and opacity issue, like I have explained in another video. I give you the link here in the video to this opacity versus fill video. And here you can see you can create amazing things with the fill option. If you have the fill options, you have the possibility to lower the fill to 0, and that's very important, so you only see the effect. And I'm going to set this to linear dodge, and now we have a really glowing outline here of the princess. And I'm going to set the opacity of that to about 30% and the size to about 50 or so. Let's go with 50 or 55, like that. It always depends on your image size, and play around. What looks good is good. Okay, and then I'm going to set the color to a blue, like a deep blue here, so that it is glowing in blue here. Like, let's go with that. Press OK, and you can play around with another settings. You can play around with the range, or with the size or the spread, but for this image these values are good enough. So I want to reset that here. Okay, let's go with 50 in range, and then I need another effect here. I need an inner glow, and I click here to inner glow, and I set this to linear dodge as well, like that. And then I'm going to set the color as well to a blue color, and the size up to 250, and opacity as well to about 30%. And now we have this glowing effect here, and I'm going to click OK, and now we have the glow, the blue glow around the person. And now I'm going to activate the blur layer, and I'm going to set this to a smart object. I'm converting this to a smart object, and going to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and I'm going with about 10 pixels or so, like that. And then I press OK. And the next step is this one here. Okay, we have to set no, we are good right now, and the next step is we are working on the hologram. And yeah, we're working on the hologram layer right now, but before we have to set the blur layer to another blend mode to soft light here, like that. And then we're going to activate the hologram layer, and I'm going to set here the blend mode to color burn, like that. Then I set the opacity to about 30%, like that. So we have this faded out effect here. And now I have to use a pattern to create the scan lines. And I've created here a pattern. This pattern is an image 1 pixels by 10 pixels. And then I grabbed here the selection tool, selected only the half of this image here, and I filled it with a black color. And then I did here, go here to edit, define pattern, and I defined the pattern, and now I can use the pattern here in this image here. I'm setting here up a layer mask by clicking here on the layer mask symbol, and then I'm going to fill this with a pattern, and choose the created pattern here and fill. And as you can see, we have now filled the layer here with pattern, and you have some scan lines, but this is not the end. We have now, yeah, it's not clear, it's faded out, and we want to have a little bit more of contrast in the image. So I'm going to just duplicate this image here, and I change the blend mode to overlay and opacity to 100%, and then I'm going to invert the pattern by selecting the mask and press Ctrl I, and there we are. Now we have this really amazing holographic effect, and as you can see, this is our model without holographic effect here, and here we have the background, and this is our finished image. And yeah, if you like my tutorials, please subscribe to my channel, like I tell you right now in the end cut. But please subscribe to my channel if you like my videos, and stay tuned for more. Bye. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel right here in the middle, and my last 2 videos you can find here and here. And if you really like my videos, you can support me on patron.com. Here's the link. And thanks again, and see you next time. Bye.